Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare.
Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare Ram
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare.
Hare Hare Ram
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare.
Hare 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 Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare.
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Hare Hare Ram
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram
Hare Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Hare Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Hare.
Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare.
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Hare
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 Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare.
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Ram Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
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 Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna.
Hare Ram,
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna.
Hare Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna.
Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
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 Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna.
Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
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 Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram.
Ram
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
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 Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare
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 Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Krishna
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Hare
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 Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare Krishna 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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
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 Hare Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
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 Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Hare
Ram
Hare
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 Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram
Hare Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram
Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
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 Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna
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 Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram Ram
Ram
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram 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 Hare
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 Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
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 Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna 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 Hare
Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram
Hare
Krishna
Ram
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 Krishna
Ram
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 Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
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 Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Hare
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
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 Ram
Hare Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Hare
Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare
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 Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram Ram Hare
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 Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
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 Ram
Krishna Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Hare
Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram 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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Hare
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 Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram Ram
Ram
Ram
Hare
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 Krishna
Krishna
Hare Krishna
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 Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram
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 Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Ram
Ram
Ram Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Ram
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 Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna 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 Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
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 Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare 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 Krishna
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 Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram Krishna 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 Krishna
Hare Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram Hare Hare
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram Hare Ram
Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
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 Krishna Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare Ram
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 Hare
Ram Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram Hare Ram
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram 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 Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna
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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram Hare
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 Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Ram Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
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 Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Krishna Hare
Ram
Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Hare Ram
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare Ram Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
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 Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
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 Ram
Krishna Krishna
Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram
Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Ram
Hare
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 Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare
Hare Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram Ram Ram Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare 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 Ram
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
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 Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna Krishna
Hare Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare Hare
Ram Ram Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
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 Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare 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 Krishna
Hare Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram Hare Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Ram
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram 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 Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Krishna
Ram
Chaitanya Prabhu
Hare
Nityananda
Hare
Shri
Krishna
Advaita
Krishna Krishna
Gadadhar
Krishna Hare
Shivasati
Hare
Gaura
Ram
Bhakta
Hare
Vrinda
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna
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 Krishna Hare Ram Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare 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 Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
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 Ram,
Rama
Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
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 Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare 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 Rama
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Rama
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram,
Krishna Krishna Hare
Ram
Hare
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 Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna.
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram Hare Ram
Krishna.
Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Ram
Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Hare Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna, Krishna.
Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare Hare Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna 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 Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna.
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare Ram Ram Hare
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 Hare,
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
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 Ram.
Hare Hare Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare.
Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare.
Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare.
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare.
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
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 Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram Ram
Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Hare
Ram
Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
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 Hare
Ram
Hare
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 Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare Hare
Ram
Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
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 Krishna Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna 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 Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
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 Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Krishna
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 Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
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 Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare 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 Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare 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 Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
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 Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Ram Ram Ram
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Hare
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 Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Krishna Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
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 Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram 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 Hare
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Hare
Shri
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Chaitanya
Krishna
Prabhu
Hare Hare
Nityananda Shri
Hare Ram
Advaita
Hare Ram
Gadadhar
Ram Ram
Shivasati
Hare Krishna Hare
Gaur
Krishna
Bhakta
Krishna
Vrinda
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
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 Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna 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 Hare
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 Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
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 Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare,
Ram Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
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 Ram,
Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna 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 Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare 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 Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
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 Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Rama
Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Hare
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 Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Hare
Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram
Rama
Hare
Ram
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 Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Ram
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama
Hare Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram
Rama
Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Rama
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare
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 Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
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 Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram Ram Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
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 Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram
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 Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram Hare
Ram
Hare
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 Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna Hare
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 Hare Ram
Ram
Ram Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare Ram
Ram Ram
Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare 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 Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Hare
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 Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Ram
Hare Hare
Ram
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 Hare
Ram
Hare
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 Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna Hare
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 Krishna Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Ram
Krishna Hare
Hare Hare Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram 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 Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
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 Krishna Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare
Ram
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 Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Krishna
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare 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 Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna.
Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
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 Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare Hare
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Rama,
Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
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 Hare
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 Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
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 Hare Ram
Hare
Ram 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 Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Ram
Hare
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 Ram
Hare Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram 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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare Ram Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram 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 Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
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 Ram,
Hare
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 Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
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 Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna.
Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna.
Ram 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 Hare
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 Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna.
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna, Hare.
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram.
Ram Ram Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram Ram.
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna.
Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare.
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna, Hare.
Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare.
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare.
Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna.
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna.
Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna.
Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare.
Ram Ram Hare Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna.
Krishna 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 Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna.
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna.
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna Hare
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 Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
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 Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna.
Krishna 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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare.
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Krishna Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare, Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare.
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Hare
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 Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare.
Hare Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare.
Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare.
Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare
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 Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna.
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna.
Hare Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram Hare Ram
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
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 Ram Hare
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 Krishna
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 Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram
Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
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 Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Hare
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 Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Ram
Hare
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 Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
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 Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Ram
Hare Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
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 Hare
Ram
Hare
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 Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
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 Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
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 Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
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 Ram Ram
Hare
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 Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
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 Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
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 Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Hare
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 Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna 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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram 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 Hare Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
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 Hare
Ram
Hare
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 Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram 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 Hare Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
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 Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram 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 Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
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 Hare Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare 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 Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram Hare
Ram
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 Hare
Ram Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
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 Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Ram Hare
Ram
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 Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram 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 Hare
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
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 Ram 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 Hare
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 Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram 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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
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 Hare
Ram
Hare
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 Krishna
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 Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Ram 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 Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
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 Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare Ram
Ram Ram Ram Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
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 Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Hare
Ram Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
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 Hare
Hare
Ram Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
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 Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Hare Hare Rama.
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Hare
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 Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Ram
Hare
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 Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
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 Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
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 Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
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 Ram
Hare Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
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 Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
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 Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram Ram Ram Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare
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 Ram Hare
Ram Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram Ram
Ram
Hare
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 Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
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 Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
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 Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
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 Hare
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 Krishna
Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram
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 Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare Ram
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 Ram,
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
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 Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna, Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
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 Hare, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Ram Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
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 Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna
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 Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
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 Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram,
Hare
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 Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare Hare Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
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 Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
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 Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare 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 Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Hare Ram Ram Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Hare Ram 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 Hare
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 Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram
Krishna,
Hare Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Hare,
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare
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 Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare
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 Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram Ram Ram
Hare
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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare
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 Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare
Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram Hare Ram
Ram
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Hare Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare Ram
Krishna Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
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 Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram 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 Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram 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 Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
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 Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
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 Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Krishna Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram
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 Hare
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 Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
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 Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
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 Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
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 Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
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 Hare Ram Hare Ram
Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
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 Hare Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
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 Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
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 Ram
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 Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
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 Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram Hare
Ram
Ram Ram
Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare Hare
Hare Ram Hare Ram
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 Hare
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 Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram
Hare Ram
Ram
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
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 Hare Krishna
Hare Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
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 Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare
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 Krishna Krishna
Hare
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 Ram
Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram 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 Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
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 Ram Ram
Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
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 Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
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 Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
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 Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare Ram Ram
Ram
Ram Hare
Ram
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
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 Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare
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 Rama Hare
Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Rama
Hare
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 Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama Hare
Krishna
Rama Rama
Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
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 Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Hare
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 Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama
Hare
Rama Rama
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Ram Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
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 Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
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 Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
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 Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna.
Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna.
Hare Ram 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 Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna.
Hare 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 Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare 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 Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna.
Hare 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 Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna.
Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Hare Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram Hare Ram
Hare Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna.
Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna.
Hare 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 Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna.
Krishna Hare 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 Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna Hare
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 Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare Hare
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram.
Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
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 Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare
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 Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare.
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna.
Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna 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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna.
Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Ram, Hare
Hare Hare
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Ram
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare
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 Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna 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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare.
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna.
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna 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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
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 Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna Hare 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 Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Ram
Ram,
Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
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 Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna 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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare
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 Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Ram 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 Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Hare
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 Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna 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 Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare 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 Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram Hare
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 Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna Hare 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 Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Ram 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 Hare
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 Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna 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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna 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 Hare
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 Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna 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 Hare
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 Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna.
Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna
Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. 7:30. So we will read something. Today is Ekadashi. So fasting from grains and beans today. And doing more chanting, hearing like that, remembering of Krishna devotional service. Okay. So text 62. Mamaite manasa yad yad asavaham iti bhruvan krini. The living entity labors under the bodily conception of I am this, I am that. My duty is this, and therefore I shall do it. These are all mental impressions, and all these activities are temporary. Nonetheless, by the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the living entity gets a chance to execute all his mental concoctions. Thus, he gets another body. So, in the bodily conception of life, I think this is who I am, and this is my duty, this is my country, this is my family, this is my duty. I have to do this. So, but all these activities are temporary because the body itself is temporary. So the bodily activities, the duties in relation to the body are temporary. And because he has still he has many desires to enjoy. So mental concoctions means I will enjoy like this. And the body does not support at certain point because it becomes old. So Krishna gives him another body to fulfill all his desires. So in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Ishvara, what is that? Ishvara sarva bhutanam riddeshu arjuna tishtati brahmayan sarva bhutani yantra rudani maya. I am seated in everybody's heart and I am directing the wandering of all the living entities who are seated on this machine made of material energy. So Krishna is saying, okay, now you want this. So different bodies, different yantras we get. Our body is like a machine. And as every machine at some point, breaks down. So similarly, our body also breaks down at a certain point. And we get a new body to start with, a new machine to again, carry on our desires. So of all the machines that we've got, this human machine is the best machine because in this human machine, it has intelligence, it has a facility to connect with our real identity, to understand who we are, what is the purpose of life. So this human body is the best of all the species of life because in this you can go to eternal life. So, purport, Prabhupada is saying, as long as one is absorbed in the bodily conception, his activities are performed on that platform. So, does it mean we should not do our duties in relation to the body? Yes, we can do. Yes, in our family, what we have to do, our responsibilities are there. But we should know also that I'm not the body, and they are the people I'm serving or the duties I'm performing to, they are also not their bodies, they are also spirit souls. So, by the force of our karma, we have come together in a certain situation for a certain period of time. And this is not going to last forever. So, the reason why we have been given this human body is to progress in our journey back home to our eternal home, the spiritual world. So, I should progress and I should help others who are related to me progress on that path, not deviate from their real goal of life. So we should not be an obstacle to somebody's progress in spiritual life. Neither should we allow somebody else to be an obstacle in our progress in spiritual life. But rather, rather than becoming an obstacle, we should help each other to progress towards, to become Krishna conscious. That's the thing. Then everything is okay. As long as one is absorbed in the bodily conception, his activities are performed on that platform. This is not very difficult to understand. In the world, we see that every nation is trying to supersede every other nation, and that every man is trying to advance beyond his fellow man. There is competition in the at the national level, and sometimes even at the family level, there is competition. All these activities. That's why there are so many lawsuits, right, about disputes about property because the siblings are fighting. There are so many cases in India about this property dispute and going on. So yeah, everybody has disagreement with another person. This is the age of quarrel. So for small things also there is a quarrel. And everybody has big false ego. They want to be the proprietor. They want to lord it over others. But actually Krishna is the enjoyer. I am not the enjoyer. Krishna is the enjoyer of all the jivas. I am not the enjoyer. Krishna is the proprietor and the controller of all the jivas. I am not the proprietor, I am not the controller. And Krishna is the best friend of all the jivas. The Supreme Lord is the best friend because he can help everybody. He has unlimited resources and unlimited power. He can reciprocate and help everybody. Our power and our reciprocation capacity is limited. So knowing this, one attains peace. This is the peace formula, right? Bhoktaram yagna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram. So I am not the enjoyer. As soon as we take the position of being the enjoyer, then we are trying to take Krishna's position, and then there is agitation, and there is you know mental disturbance, and all these things happen, depression, and all these things. Of course, we came into this world which is full of misery, and we are trying to make a situation very enjoyable situation. So how it is going to work? And so that's why Krishna is saying that, mamupetya punarjanma dukkhalayam asashvatam napnuvanti mahatmana sansiddhim paramam gata. So knowing this, we should not expect that the life will become very wonderful and so many things will happen, and then it doesn't happen, then we become depressed. So all these activities are going on under the name of advancement of civilization. But because we want to enjoy, then we should seek enjoyment in spiritual ways. There are many plans for making the body comfortable, and these plans are carried in the subtle body after the destruction of the gross body. So the mind which we have right now with us has come with us through many, many lifetimes. Because the gross body is destroyed, but the subtle body is not destroyed until you get liberated. It is not a fact that after the gross body is destroyed, the living entity is finished. Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Krishna has already said that in second chapter. Although many great philosophers and teachers in this world are under the impression that after the body is finished, everything is finished. This is not a fact. So we live eternally. We live eternally after this body, before this. So this is something to understand and realize very deeply, that I am eternal, I am the soul. Narad Muni says in this verse that at death one takes his plans with him. Griniyat. He takes his plans with him. Means whatever unfulfilled desires he has, he takes along with him in his next life. And to execute these plans, he gets another body. This is called Punar Bhavaha. Punar means again, and Bhavaha means be again born. When the gross body is finished, the plans of the living entity are taken by the mind. And by the grace of the Lord, the living entity gets a chance to give these plans shape in the next life. Like when you sleep, right? You have some plans today. When you sleep, you forget. Generally, we forget when we are in deep sleep. sushupti. And then when we get up again, then we remember, oh, I had a plan of buying a house. So next day again, you. So death is something like that. It's like sleeping, and then when you get another body, then again those plans from the past, they again like immediately it may not manifest as a child, but as the child grows up, then all those desires which are embedded in the mind, they again manifest. And that's why, two children born in the same family may have completely different inclinations. Sometimes we see that some child is very spiritually inclined and the other is not at all spiritually inclined. Although they have been raised in the same family by the same parents, same situation, but one opts for spirituality and other doesn't. So because why? Because this in the past somebody may have cultivated that soul may have cultivated spirituality, and now again he's getting a chance to again continue. And the other soul he has not cultivated. He has not cultivated that attraction, that he doesn't have attraction for this. So so this is how it is very evident also when we see, when we examine different situations, that we are carrying our desires from our past life and our inclinations, vasana. This is known as the law of karma. As long as the mind is absorbed in the laws of karma, a certain type of body must be accepted in the next life. Parabhavas tavad abodh jata yavanna jigyasatatva tattvam. Rishabdev is saying that unless one inquires into the absolute truth, everything else is defeat in this life. And he says, Tavat kriya idam manovai karmatmukam yena sharira bandha. That as long as the mind is colored by fruitive activity, tavat kriya, what is that? Tavat, yeah, yeah.
Yavat kriyas
Tavat kriya
idam manavai.
no, idam manovai karmatmakam yena sharira bandha. Right. So as long as the mind is colored by fruitive desires, then sharira bandha has to get different bodies. And so this is why we are getting this body. Karma is the aggregate of fruitive activities conducted to make this body comfortable or uncomfortable. So we have actually seen that when one man was about to die, he requested his physician to give him a chance to live 4 more years so that he could finish his plans. So one person was about to die and he was saying, Doctor, do something so I can live 4 more years. He knows he's going to die, but he just wants to extend his life by 4 more years. Why? Because he thinks he has some business unfinished. He has something to do. Maybe he has to get his daughter married, or he has to, explain his business to his sons, or he has whatever it may be. Something is on his mind, and he wants to finish that before he dies. So this means that while dying, he was thinking of his plans. And of course, if that was possible, that physician could keep extending your life, then everybody will say, give me 5 years more, give me 10 years more. And the physician says, sometimes the physician says, no, you have only 6 months to live, we can't do anything. Usually at stage 4 cancer, they say like that. We can't do anything. So it is just a matter of time now. After his body was destroyed, he doubtlessly carried his plans with him by means of subtle body, composed of mind, intelligence, and ego. So Prabhupada says, when he passed away, he had all these desires and the plans he had. He carried it to his next life. Thus he would get another chance by the grace of the Supreme Lord, the Super Soul, who is always within the heart. Sarvasya chaham hridisannivishto matasmitirgyanam apohanam cha. In the next birth, one acquires remembrance from the Super Soul and begins to execute the plans begun in the previous life. It doesn't seem like that. We think like, oh, this is, but our inclinations and our propensities have come with us from our past life. This is also explained in Bhagavad Gita. Like some people are very renounced, they are not attracted to material enjoyment. They're like sadhu kind of people, right? You see Most people are not like that, but some are like that. They are very, from the very beginning of their life, they are very detached and they are looking for spirituality. So, so that is because of their past life. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hrideshu arjuna tishtati. So right now, if we become, more spiritually inclined and we pray to Krishna, and then if we don't finish in this life, next life will be even more spiritually inclined. We'll start off with a, like, immediately we'll be attracted to, as Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita in the 6th chapter, by his purva abhyas, he again becomes attracted to the yogic principles. What is that verse? Purva abhyasate neva in the 6th chapter. We memorize this verse, right?
Yes, 644. Purvabhyas te neva. Riyate vashuddhisa.
Jigyasurapi yogyasya shabda brahmati vartate. By virtue of the divine consciousness of his previous life, purva abhyas means he has practiced in his previous. He automatically becomes attracted to the yogic principles, even without seeking them. Such an inquisitive transcendentalist always stands always above the ritualistic principles of the scriptures. Okay, so he continues his progress. So, some of you, or all of you, have an inclination to read Srimad Bhagavatam in the morning. Like, how many people have that inclination to? Most people are thinking about job and things like that, and just, of course, they may be reading at other times. I'm not saying that, but yeah, how many people have the inclination to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, to chant Japa in the morning? Out of so many people, so you must have done something in your previous life, and or in this life you met devotees and you have started. So Ishvara sarva bhutanam hrideshu arjuna tishtati brahmayan sarva bhutani yantararudhani mayaya. The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and is directing the wanderings of all living entities, who are seated on a machine as made of the material energy. So no matter, even if we don't feel, if we make effort, if we are determined, we can progress, even if we don't have previous credits from our past life. But now if we understand the importance and the gravity of this spiritual life, then we can again take it up and we can start and we can make even more progress than somebody who has made progress in their previous life and are going slow. Right? So it is up to us, because spiritual life does not depend on what you have done in the past. At every moment you have a choice and you can surrender to Krishna. You can accept Krishna's instructions, guidance, and you can begin very fast from this point on. Krishna even says, even at the moment of death, one can achieve perfection. In the Bhagavad Gita, in the 2nd chapter, in the last verse, he says that and other places also. That is the way of spiritual and godly life, attaining which a man is not bewildered. If one is thus situated even at the hour of death, one can enter into the kingdom of God. So that doesn't mean we should, be doing it at the last hour of death, but but one can become Krishna conscious even at that time, like Khatvanga Maharaj. But we should start ahead. Situated on the vehicle given by material nature and reminded by the super soul within the heart, the living entity struggles all over the universe to fulfill his plans, thinking, I am a Brahmana, I am a Kshatriya, I am an American. So we should reject all the designations of the body, thinking that I am American, I am Indian, I am male, I am female. We should reject all these designations. So that I am not this. I am not this, anything related to this designation of the body. I am spirit, soul. All these designations are of the same essence. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, right? What is the verse? Naham Vipro Nachala.
Nachakarpati napi vaishyo na shudra.
But
These are world.
designations are needed to understand what duties you have to perform in life, right?
But these are temporary duties. Like,
Right, but
as
they're
a,
duties regardless. I mean, Krishna tells Arjuna the whole time that you're a Kshatriya and you have to fight
huh,
this war.
that is one level of his. So Krishna is trying to convince Arjun from all different angles. He wants him to fight. So first he appeals to him on the his bodily as Kshatriya, because of course he's not a Kshatriya really in this because he's a spirit soul, but he wants him to fight. So he's appealing to him from a karma kanda point of view, that if you don't fight, then you will get dishonor, and people will make fun of you as a coward, and if you they will think you are afraid, that's why you're not fighting. So he's covering all the different, but ultimately the ultimate consideration is that you are not the body, you are the soul, and you are my servant. You are, Krishna is saying, he's telling his supremacy in the later chapters, and he's saying, you are my servant and you are a spirit soul. You cannot kill anybody because the soul cannot be killed. So you are thinking you are going to kill Bhishma, you are going to kill Drona. So there is a
No,
big
I
section.
get that, but you still have to identify with your body while you're here. Like, for instance, you just said that, you're not male, female. Yes, we get that. At that higher level, we are all
Right.
souls and have no gender. But while you're here, if someone's a husband, then husband has certain
Yeah,
things that he needs to do
duty,
for the
correct.
family. Wife, the same.
But internally, you should know. Externally, yeah, you have to do your duty. You have to be in a. But internally, you should be aware of your spiritual identity, that you are spirit soul, and that other person whom you are serving is also a spirit soul. And you both have, both of you have to go back home, back to Godhead. So that relationship should not uh, get you more into the illusory conception of the bodily identity, that sometimes this bodily conception identity becomes spiritual life means to come to the consciousness that I am spirit soul. But if the relationships drag us down to the bodily conception of life, then they're an obstacle to our actual progress. So while we have to do our duties, we should do our duties. We should think, yeah, this person is also a spirit soul. He's part and parcel of Krishna. These are my children. These are actually Krishna's children. Krishna has put them in my care for a certain period of time, so I can make them Krishna conscious, so they can get out of the cycle of birth and death. So in the Bhagavatam it says, don't become a guru, don't become a mother, don't become a father, don't become a pati, don't become a husband. So husband is meant to deliver his dependence. Guru na sasyat, janani na sasyat, pita na sasyat, like that it says. So whoever is depending upon you, you should not drag them down into the bodily conception of life, and on the bodily platform, and then forget about who we are and our journey. So duties have to be performed in such a way that it makes us more God conscious and not get us into the bodily conception of life. So then it is okay. Like they say, we have horizontal duties and we have vertical duties. Horizontal duties are in relationship with our family and our all this other, and the vertical duty is the relationship with God. So horizontal duties should enhance our relationship, vertical relationship. They should not make us forget our vertical relationship with God. That's why in Varnashrama, if you see at uh, the Vedas say that the human life is in four parts: brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, and sannyas. So at certain point, you say, yeah, I'm done with my duties. At vanaprastha, yeah, my children are grown up, and I'm 50 years of age. If you live 100 years, we don't live 100 years now. So ideally, that one fourth, one fourth, one fourth, one fourth. So if our lifespan is 80 years, the Varnashram that was designed is 20, 20, 20, 20, one fourth, one fourth, one fourth. So at 40, you are supposed to say, yeah, I'm done now. I have to now do my duties towards God, because otherwise these duties will go on and on and on and on and on. We'll forget. My children are grown up; they can take care of the the situation, my business or whatever. That's how they used to do. Because death is coming closer, I have to become more now remembering God and engaged in His service. So I like this man. Prabhupada says he was going to die and he was thinking about instead of thinking about God, and he's thinking about, oh, I have to do my this duty, I have this duty left, I have that duty left. So at certain point, there's time out. We say time out. Yeah, it's done. Whatever is done is done. Now my human life is coming to an end. This human life I got after so many years of transmigration. Now I have to connect with God. This remaining years of my life. So that was how it was designed, the whole Vedic system. So he says, Prabhupada says, yes, the living entity struggles. Yeah, somebody like to say.
Yeah, I was just wanting to mention this verse from Bhagavad Gita 8.7 Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanushmara yudhyacha mayarpito mano buddhir mamaveshyasya samshaya. Therefore, Arjuna, you should always think of me in the form of Krishna and at the same time carry out your prescribed duty of fighting. With your activities dedicated to me and your mind and intelligence fixed on me, you will attain me without doubt. So, as you were saying, our horizontal duties should not make us forget our vertical duties. Krishna should always be at the center of our household, activities. So we help each other become more Krishna conscious. That's the point.
Yeah. And my duty as a 55-year-old person is not my same duty as a 30-year-old person. So in the Varnashram, it is described, right? Like your duties change. It is not as age progresses, whatever my duties were when I was 20 years old, it is not the same as when I am 60 years old. So
But the system was designed for an ideal situation. We don't live in an ideal world. Like, not everyone is going to
yeah, that
live
is
for
true.
80 years. So, what are you supposed to do then? You can't divide your life into those four quarters on the fact that you're not guaranteed to live 80 or 100 years.
Yeah, so we don't know how long we'll live. So from Prabhupada's is like from whenever you feel the importance of. See, you can be in the any situation, but the thing is that you have to be more God conscious and not
Yeah.
do so much social life. At certain point, like at 60-year-old, you don't have to attend all the marriages and all the so as you are doing as a as a householder. So as a 40-year-old person, 30-year-old person, what he was doing and going for all the social functions in Grihastha life is not what the 60-year-old person has to do because he has to save time, he has to chant Hare Krishna, he has to now associate more with devotees and spiritual activities. So that is what uh, you can be in your family situation, but you have to kind of become aloof from it. It's not like you do what you were doing at 30 years old, you do at 60 years old. So that way your duties have changed. At 30-year old, you may be having a child and you may have to take care of your child. But when you're 60 years old, your child is 30 years old. Now you don't have to take care of the child or anything like that. Now they are 30 years old. They can do their duty, and now you're 60 years old. Now you have to become more God conscious and directly engage in devotional service, right? So that is how it was.
Prahlad
You,
Maharaj says, Kaumaram Acharit Pragya Dharma,
okay.
from the very childhood, from 5 years of age.
Yeah, correct. First training is brahmachari, then you become grihastha, then after some time, yeah.
You should be a pure devotee throughout your life, not that you have to be a vanaprasth to be. Our way of renunciation is yukta vairagya, means whatever Krishna has given you, whatever situation has Krishna has given you, you use it everything in Krishna's service. Not that you have to artificially renounce something. That you can also keep on staying in your grahastha ashram as long as it is favorable for your Krishna consciousness. Not that you have to leave behind everything, go to the forest for meditation. So from the very beginning, brahmachari, vanaprastha, grahastha, vanaprastha, you should be a pure devotee from the very beginning. Means I am dedicating my life to Krishna, all my activities, my mind, my consciousness, body, mind, and words. Because we don't know how much time we have.
Correct.
People die in young age also.
like in Grihastha ashram, there are certain things you can do, right? But at certain age in life, those things are not allowed. So according to the Varna ashram, so there in Grihastha ashram there is you can you can start business and you can do some economic development, and then you are supposed to support the other three ashramas, the Brahmachari ashram, the Vanaprastha ashram, and the Sannyas ashram. And as a Vanaprastha, you are not supposed to start a new business and like make economic development at that point, because now your death is this is what this man was thinking, that now I have unfinished plans, I have to do this, I have to do that. So at that age, when he's about to depart, he's not supposed to think about. Uh, but as a grihastha, you can do for some time. You make up your empire, and then at certain point you can say, yeah, I'm done with this empire. So now my children are there; they will take care of it. Now I can do service to the Lord. I can preach. I can do temple service like that. I have to absorb my mind in God more. So that is what it is. And as Jayaveda Maharaj was saying, that all this is there, all the ashrams are there to control the lust. As brahmachari, you are supposed to, you are trained to control lust. Then as grihastha, you are meant to regulate lust. Then as vanaprastha, you are meant to detach from lust. And as sannyas, you are meant to forget lust. So these are all so ultimately, lust means desires to enjoy in this world and the bodily conception of life and all these things. So we are supposed to become more renounced as life progresses. And it also sets an example for your children. Oh, my grandmother was like that. My grandfather, he did like this. So when they come up to that age, they also see, yes, we should be also doing this. Like my father as a friend, he says that in our tradition, our family, at 50 years, 55 years, my father took sannyas and he lived in an ashram. So he said, I am also following the same path. So you set an example for the future generation also. So they see, like Prabhupada was saying, that when I used to get up, I used to see my father. He was always worshipping the deities and he was very Krishna conscious. So it gives an example for but in the old days, people are watching TV and doing so many things, and then it doesn't give a good example. So for the others also, so you have to set an example for others, and that's how we say Kardam Muni. He was married to Devahuti, and he had Kapila Dev as his son, the supreme personality of Godhead. But Kardam Muni left to show as an example. For, of course, we don't have to leave or anything in this age, but we have to become more like. Now, of course, if you don't have money and all these things come in, yeah, but sometimes there is karma is like that we don't have enough money and we have to work. So then you can say, yeah, now my children are grown up, let them take care. I will live in the temple. My needs will be taken care of. I will dedicate my life. So many devotees, they live in the temple, and that is also like good situation for practicing spiritual life. So if we want to ultimately the goal is to become Krishna conscious. That is then, if that is a burning desire, and if life is coming to an end, and if you are really, really understanding the purpose of life, then you will take the necessary steps to, like Prabhupada says, if your goal is to, become Krishna conscious and go back home, back to Godhead, if you really have a burning desire, intense desire, and you understand the whole situation in this material existence, who you are, and how you are moving from one life to the next in different bodies, then your determination will be strong, and you will say, we cannot force anybody, everybody has to fly their own plane. So ultimately, we have to think what is the best thing for me to do, to become Krishna conscious. Because at the point of death, neither my husband nor my wife, nobody is going to come with me. I have to take care of my own situation. So I am a spirit soul, and depending on my consciousness, I will go to the next life. So I have to, like Maharaj was saying, nobody can chant rounds for you. You have to chant yourself. You have to think of Krishna. Nobody can think of Krishna for you. You have to think of Krishna yourself. You have to become spiritually advanced. So we have to take that responsibility ourselves to make spiritual advancement. And of course, Krishna helps. So, so in that way, whether others are doing it or not is not of importance, because every soul is on a journey. So, of course, if others are doing and we are in that environment where others are, then we get so much inspiration. But if we are in an environment in the family where nobody is like thinking about these things, and they have no sadhana and nothing, they are not chanting, then our inspiration will go down. So, so the purpose of living in a temple is to get inspiration from those who are on this path, and they are doing all Krishna conscious activities, talking about Krishna. Then it will give you inspiration. So that is the purpose of changing your, like yesterday we were talking about there are different worlds. The world that we can't change, the world that is we choose to live in, the world inside us. So the world we choose to live in will affect the world inside us. So if you are in an association of those who are very sincere and very then it will affect your consciousness. But if you are with people who don't have any idea about spirituality and they're just, then your thing will also go down. That's why people change their in our Columbus, some areas properties are very expensive because they have good schools, and people want to put their children in good schools. So in those areas, properties are a little bit more expensive, because every parent wants their child to be in good schools where they have good students and they have good company, so that they can progress. So in the same way, in spiritual life, it's also the same way. We want to be in the association of those who are really aspiring to become free from material desires, and who want to connect with Krishna, who want to serve Krishna, who have an intensity. Like Prabhupada had that intensity, and because of his intensity, he gave that intensity to others. So it's contagious. So we want to be in that environment where there is fire, Krishna consciousness. So that is, and if it is there at home, it's very good. Then we don't need to change. So all these designations are of the same essence. There is no point in becoming a Brahmana in preference to an American, or becoming an American in preference to a Negro. After all, these are all bodily conceptions under the modes of material nature. Sometimes we think, American, citizenship is better than African citizenship or Indian citizenship. So, but Prabhupada was asked, right? He was asked that why is death rate so high in India if it's supposed to be a spiritual country? Why is death rate so high? And Prabhupada said, what?
Death rate is same everywhere. 100%.
100%. Even here, the hospitals are full. So our hospitals in India also are full. So everywhere, people are suffering. Here also, people are having diseases. So, despite all the technology and everything. So, a Brahma Bhuvana Loka Punaravartino Arjuna Mamupityatu Kwanteya Punarjanmana Vidyate. Krishna is telling that no matter where you go, there is repeated birth and death. So you come back to my abode. That's what Krishna is making, a contrast between going to other places and coming back to him. Going back to him. So, okay, so what's the time? 8:10. Okay, we'll read one more verse. Yatha anumiyate chittam. Anybody like to say anything?
Can you complete that verse we were discussing? Naham Vipro Nacha Narpati. So what is our real designation at any point?
You want to say that?
Naham Vipro Nacha Narpati Napi Vaishyo Na Shudro Naham Varni Nacha Grahapati Na Vanasto Yaterva Kintu Prodyan Nikhila Paramananda Purna Mritabdir Gopi Bhartu Pad Kamala Dasa Dasa Nudas. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying that I am not a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and I am not a Brahmachari, Vanaprastha, Sannyasi, but I am only the servant of the Gopi Bhartupad of Krishna, who is the maintainer of the gopis. So this is our real designation. I am the servant of Krishna. I am meant to serve Krishna and give pleasure to Krishna.
I'm the servant of the devotees. So that is the and servant of the pure devotees. That is the that is who we should take the service of the pure devotees. And if we serve, actually we should serve everybody, but it is said like that, right? Narad Muni tells Dhruva Maharaj, if you meet somebody more qualified than you, then instead of becoming envious, then you should serve that person. If you meet somebody your equal, then you make, instead of bragging about your own achievements, you should make friendship with that person. And if you meet somebody lower than you, then you should be, instead of condemning or, yeah, like that person, you should show compassion to that person. So we are serving in different ways. We should, if we meet somebody very qualified, then we should not feel envious. Rather, we should take guidance, serve that person. So we also can make spiritual advancement. Like that. So, okay. But of course, we think we are Trinada Pisunichena. We think, yeah, I am very fallen, so others are advanced, more advanced than me. But still, Madhyam Adhikari makes distinction between the devotees, and in the devotees also in Nectar of Instruction it says, what is that verse? Nectar of Instruction, that it says one should mentally honor the devotee who has undergone, who is chanting the holy name of the Lord, and like that, and one should honor that person who is engaged in service, offer obeisances.
Obeisances to those who have got an initiation, and associate and faithfully serve those pure devotees who don't have the propensity to criticize others and who are advanced in undeviated devotional service.
Now, Prabhupada did criticize sometimes, but he was criticizing so that people could correct. It was not out of superiority complex. The father may criticize the child. Hey, child, you should not do like this. This is wrong what you are doing. So that may not be, it's to help the child. So Prabhupada would sometimes criticize.
As a guru, he has that. He can criticize his disciples, chastise them. But for us, like, we should not look at other people's faults, but should look at, because we have our plane to catch. I mean, highest realization is to save oneself. Whether they are, whatever they are doing or not, who cares? It's for them to think.
That's correct. Yeah, unless you have some responsible position and you have to run an organization, something like that. So yeah, we have to do our own Krishna consciousness. Or if their faults are affecting the society in a large way, and it is turning people away from Krishna, or if they are like, if they are affecting us personally, then somebody is abusing us like that, then we may take some action. But otherwise, but if they are abusing others also, yeah, like they said, Draupadi, they were silent, right? Bhishma and Drona, they were silent when Draupadi was. So sometimes you have to take action if some devotee is being, like unnecessarily, So anyhow, everybody has faults. And it is also said, when faults in others misguide you, delude you, then you should introspect and find faults in yourself. That will sober you up, and then you will not have the propensity to criticize unnecessarily others. So, okay. And we have to help each other, right? It's not like we just criticize and then leave it at that. No, we should do constructive criticism, they say, also, and to help somebody, because we are all faulty, otherwise we would not get this material body, and we are in this material world. We would not be here in this material world if we were not faulty in our consciousness. So everybody is faulty in their consciousness. Now it is a degree of levels. So yatha anumiyate chittam ubhayor indriye hitahai evam pragdeha. Huh?
Prabhu, I have a question. So you said everyone is faulty in their consciousness, right? Everyone is prone to committing sin and
Correct.
all of that. So, how can you serve a guru?
Hmm.
Because guru also has faulty consciousness to
I
some
didn't.
degree, and most of the time when someone worships somebody, that person tends to get egotistical, and we've seen so many people, so many gurus become tyrants and abusers behind closed doors, right? They show one face to the world and another um, in their private life. So, how are you supposed to discern who is worth serving and who's not?
Yeah, so they say if you want to buy gold, then you need to know the characteristics of gold. So you have to see the characteristics of a guru who is, what are the characteristics of a bona fide guru? First characteristic is mentioned in Nectar of Instruction. Vacho vegam manasa krodha vegam, jiva vegam udara pasta vegam, etan veganyo vishahita dhira, etan veganyo vishahita dhira.
सर्वमपि मम पृथ्वीं
Prithivyam
सशिष्य.
Sasya, the one who is able to tolerate the urges of the senses, the mind, the tongue, the belly, the genitals, the force of anger, then he is qualified to make disciples all over the world. So,
Pretend all of that in public, right? We've seen so many gurus in India,
yeah.
and even like in the church here, right? In mosque and everywhere, imams and pastors, they
Yeah.
present one face, and then there's child abuse and all kinds of rapes of kids and bunch of other sinister activities going on behind closed doors.
Yeah, so you have to observe the guru for a certain period of time. Just because so many people are not bona fide doesn't mean that the real people, the real devotees don't exist, the real gurus don't exist. Yeah, it is. Prabhupada himself lost faith. When his friend came, Narendranath Malik, he came and said, there is a sadhu has come to town. Can you come and see him? He said, no, no, I have seen many sadhus. They are wearing saffron, but they are not very pakka. So he had lost faith. But when he met this genuine person, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, then he could recognize that, yeah, this is a genuine sadhu. So while there are counterfeit currency, there is counterfeit currency, but there is real currency also that exists. But because we have been seeing so many times, we have been dealing with counterfeit currency, so we think there is everybody is a counterfeit, everybody is not real. So that is not how we should. Like so many marriages have broken apart, right? Does it mean we should do away with the institution of marriage because so many marriages have broken, so many divorces have happened? No, the marriage is still an institution uh, according to the Vedic custom. So yeah, so many marriages have broken, so many gurus have, they were maybe not bona fide gurus, they were. So first of all, guru also has to speak from Bhagavad Gita, he has to be a devotee of Krishna. So besides controlling the senses and everything, he is a Goswami, and plus he has to be a devotee of Krishna. He has to speak. He should be surrendered to Krishna. Then all these qualities are there. So many gurus are not speaking from Bhagavad Gita. They are speaking their own philosophy. So, but you may say, well, in ISKCON also there have been certain instances where those were, yeah, Maya is very powerful. So the illusory. So I may be today well situated in Krishna consciousness, but tomorrow I may not be, because the illusory energy is very powerful, and we are all fallible in this. Even Prabhupada was saying, I'm always praying that I don't fall down, because this Maya is very powerful and anybody can be deviated by anything. So yeah, we have to take right now. Somebody is following, so we accept. Tomorrow, what will happen? We don't know. We may ourselves not be Krishna conscious also. So there is no guarantee, right? We may be also deviating from the path, even though I may have become a disciple or something. So
So
there
Prabhupada
is.
says if we want to be cheated, then we'll find a cheating guru. But if we are sincere in our heart, Krishna will send us a pure devotee. in our life. And of course, if we accepted a guru and if they fall down from the standards, then we can reject them. Like Bali Maharaj also rejected Shukracharya because Shukracharya asked him to not surrender to Vaman Dev, right? So we can
Yeah.
reject that. Ultimately, our guru is Krishna, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu coming down in the line of pure devotees, disciplic succession, Srila Prabhupada, right? So we are reading his words. He's our what, what is that guru? We say Srila Prabhupada is our,
Shiksha Guru.
yeah, Shiksha Guru.
Hmm.
Yeah, so
Correct.
we have to look for the sincere devotee if we want to make progress and not be affected by people who are falling down. Because, as you say, Maya is strong and everybody has their own choices to make. So, but we have to find the pure devotee, sincere devotee, be in their association if we want to make progress.
Yeah, like there were many disciples of Prabhupada who did a lot of service, but then, later on when after Prabhupada's departure, they may not be practicing Krishna consciousness. But whatever they did, we mm, there is always eternal gratitude for
Mhm.
that. So,
Mhm. And there is not one guru, we accept multiple gurus, Shiksha Guru. We learn from whoever is advanced.
yeah.
Learning is okay, I understand that, but I think worshiping another human being is not right. Ultimately, Krishna is the only entity we should worship.
Yeah, so we don't worship the guru asks us to serve Krishna, not to do his own service, but out of our respect, we can do. He does not desire it, but if we do it, then we get benefited. He should not tell, okay, wash my feet. No, it is out of our will, and the disciples they would wash the feet and then they get benefited. The guru should not demand for his own service. He should place the disciple in Krishna's service.
Yeah, and we should take what Guru is saying. If it is like Guru is giving some inspiration to serve Krishna, so we should take the good, even in anybody, like our physics teacher. Our physics teacher may be smoking, right? But he's teaching physics. So I take the part that he's teaching me physics, he's giving me the right understanding of chemistry or physics. So I take that part. He's smoking outside. I'm not worried about that. So,
Right. No, I understand that you should learn from them and
yeah.
respect them for giving you the knowledge, but
Correct.
becoming a servant of another human being who is valuable, I do not believe is right. We should only be servant of Krishna, not
Yeah,
another
but
human being.
okay, so if the disciples of Prabhupada served him, what did Prabhupada ask them to do? Do deity worship, do book distribution, print literature on Krishna, go here to Pakistan and preach. So his service, he's engaging his disciple in service of Krishna.
Right, that is fine, but washing feet and I mean, there's so many gurus who behave
Yeah.
like gods, right? They want to be put on a pedestal and um
Yeah.
worship just like God.
Even Krishna tells no Mataji that we have to pray. I mean, he likes the devotees who serve him, so we have to serve the devotees. So he likes his bhaktas very much. So we have to give respect and we have to worship them. I mean, pray them.
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
guru himself, like a devotee, would not think, oh, people should serve me. They do it out of their own will and they get benefited. But the guru should not think, oh, these disciples should be my servant, they should take care of me, they should wash my feet. That's Prabhupada didn't want that. But disciples they did it out of their heart because they loved Prabhupada.
And if somebody doesn't feel like that, then they don't have to do it. It's not like, yeah, it's like love in this world is also like by choice. So between the devotee is also the spiritual master and the disciple, it is by choice that if you don't feel like you feel like, okay, I only can take instructions and I can hear, and if that is inspirational, I will hear to that extent. I don't feel like washing his feet, then you may not. It's not like a compulsion. Although Prabhupada says, bowing down, you bow down, then the feeling will come. but ultimately Krishna consciousness is voluntary. So um, we can do as much as we want, and like somebody may have faith in somebody, somebody else may not have faith in that person to that extent. So it's all based on personal, you know, whatever you feel from your heart, right? So there is no like
Prabhuji,
force. Yeah, go ahead.
I also think it's a matter of your own consciousness. It's like you're so grateful in your heart that you want to give back. And the route to Krishna is brought to you by Guru. So you're so much in reverence and love and gratitude. It's like, I don't know if it is an analogy, but maybe like towards your parents, at some point you realize, how much they've gone through. You have that sense of love and respect, which you could, I don't know, maybe synonymous with worshiping, but we don't wash their feet or anything, but we could, right? So it's everybody's own personal way of giving back or feeling what they feel or whatever they have received. I think it's reciprocating, and it's very natural, and it comes at a certain point. You're not always the same way. You reach a certain point where you are hit with deep um, understanding of what you have achieved and how much mercy was involved, and you just naturally develop that sense. I think it's a level of consciousness in itself, and not everybody gets there at any given point, and you don't get it by hearing from somebody, or if you tell me, das. I think it's a level of consciousness that you reach at certain point, and that itself shows your elevation. So just hearing it, you may think, okay, that doesn't make any sense, and I'm not anybody's das. But again, that may be some element of ego in there. But if you look at it from humility, perspective, or how much you gain from it, I feel like at some point you may not, but at some point later you may agree with it.
Right. Like I feel so much gratitude for Srila Prabhupada, right? Because I got his books and I got his knowledge, the way he explained the Bhagavad Gita. So there is natural some, affinity because he gave us guidance and like that. So it has to come from the heart. So out of gratitude, like you gave a nice example. Like I feel so much grateful to my mother, for whatever she did for me. Even though she took, it may not be all spiritual, but how much she did for me, when I was young, and how her love, she sacrificed so much for, taking care of me. So I feel grateful. So naturally, that feeling of uh, love is there because you feel so much for somebody who has done so much for you. So in that same way, it's not like a mandate that, oh, you have to. It comes from the heart. Ultimately, you feel that, yeah, this person really, did so much for me. So, and that may translate into respecting them and serving them. They did so much for me. Now I should also do something for them. When they, like parents, right? When you're a child, they do so much for you. Now when they're old, then it's a chance for you to reciprocate again back to them. So you serve them as they served you when you were a child. So similarly, so that's on a, you know yeah, on this family relationship. But then there can be also in the spiritual way. So you may feel so much that my life was going, I was so depressed and I was so bad. And I got this knowledge, Srila Prabhupada wrote these books, and his disciples gave it to me, and so many things. So we can be grateful. And when gratitude reaches a very high degree, then you want to become really like, you become attached to that person, to looking after the comforts of that person, like mother and child. And mother is always looking after the child's comfort because she's so attached to the child. So she is looking after the comforts of the child, she's serving the child. So in the same way, it can be. Okay, so it's 8:30. We'll read this, finish this verse. Yathanumiyate chittam, over here in, I think we read this. One can understand the mental or conscious position of a living entity by the activities of two kinds of senses. the knowledge acquiring senses and the executive senses. Similarly, by mental condition or consciousness of a person, one can understand his position in the previous life. So, whatever we are, it is a continuation from our previous life, and so the mind has come with us. So we sometimes say, "Oh, he's very saintly person. Oh, he's like an animal. He's like an animal." So he has two hands, two legs, everything, but his consciousness is like that, and that consciousness has come from a previous. So by the mental condition, whatever we are, our consciousness is now is an indication of what we have done in the past, in our past lives, and in our present life also in the past, what we have done. So here it is Narad Muni is saying that you can understand the consciousness of a person by we can understand what his previous life situation was. So there is an English proverb that says the face is the index of the mind. If one is angry, his anger is immediately expressed in his face. Yeah, you can see that, from the face you can make out somebody's depressed, somebody's happy. Similarly, other mental states are reflected by the actions of the gross body. In other words, the activities of the gross body are reactions of the mental condition. In other words, the activities of the gross body are reactions of the mental condition. The mind's activities are thinking, feeling, and willing. So, whatever we are doing with our gross body is a reflection of our mental condition. So, whether I'm going to temple or whether I'm going to the cinema, it's a reflection of my mental condition. My actions are a reflection of my mental condition. The mind's activities are thinking, feeling, and willing. The willing portion of the mind is manifest by the activities of the body. The conclusion is that by activities of the body and senses, we can understand the condition of the mind. So, how we can know somebody's consciousness? Actions, we say actions speak louder than words. So, by the activities of he may be saying anything, but the actions, what are the actions? And that's what I think Ritu was saying, that sometimes people pose like that, but in their private life they are doing something different. So if you observe, like they try to find some fault with Srila Prabhupada, they had some, right? They did some hidden cameras and things like that, and they could not find any time where they could see that he was doing something against, right? They were observing. Yeah.
Correct. Yes.
So that way, so that is also, we should think, what is my consciousness when I'm alone? That's very, uh, that's a way we can think, what are we thinking about? Where is my consciousness going? What am I doing when I'm alone, when nobody's watching? So the conclusion is that by the activities of the body and senses, we can understand the condition of the mind. The condition of mind is affected by past activities in the past body. When the mind is joined with a particular sense, it immediately becomes manifest in a certain way. So, mind is also one of the six, there are five senses, and then mind is the sixth sense. So, when the mind is joined with a particular sense, it becomes manifest in a certain way. So, the mind's desires are expressed through that sense. For instance, when there is an anger in the mind, the tongue vibrates so many maledictions. Yeah. When we become angry, then tongue starts saying so many things, the speech gets affected. Similarly, when the mind's anger is expressed through the hand, there is fighting. So it's a conduit, or like a way to express what is in the mind is expressed through the senses. When it is expressed through the leg, there is kicking. There are so many ways in which the subtle activities of the mind are expressed through the various senses. The mind of a person in Krishna consciousness also acts in a similar way. The tongue chants Hare Krishna, the Mahamantra, the hands are raised in ecstasy, and legs dance in Krishna consciousness. So everybody, their Gyanendriyas and their Karmendriyas are working because of certain desires in the mind. So the devotees, they are chanting Hare Krishna. The other people, they are singing some other songs, Bollywood songs or some other. They are getting pleasure in that. So these symptoms are technically called Ashta Sattvic Vikar. Sattvic Vikar is the transformation of the mental condition in goodness or sometimes transcendental ecstasy. Okay. So our body, like tears may come to our eyes when we are chanting Hare Krishna, like that. So our the condition, or somebody dies, also we may get tears in our eyes, right? So our mind's Prabhupada is saying mind's condition is reflected through the senses. Okay, so we stop there. Okay, what we can hear one lecture from.
If there are more lectures on Jhulan Leela, Radha Krishna pastimes.
Jhulan Leela. You have any lecture like that, Jhulan?
What about Deen Bandhu Prabhu's?
Okay, Jhulan. Yeah, I saw some. I don't know, it was a lecture and it was like a discussion. So, Jhulan Yatra, swing pastimes by. So, the Jhulan Yatra began yesterday. That's how Brajhari Prabhu and Deen Bandhu Prabhu here. They are. So, let me. Radha Krishna Swing Festival.
We welcome all our viewers to the festival, special Smaran Utsav, which is meant to help us meditate on the glories, pastime of Sri Sri Radha and Krishna. During this festival time, when we are unable to visit the temple. Today, we are starting our Smaran festival on the auspicious day of Jhulan Jatra with the special pastime of Sri Sri Radha and Krishna by a special Brajvasi devotee, His Grace Dinabandhu Prabhu. So, Dinabandhu Prabhu is a disciple of Srila Prabhupada who is serving the president of Portland Temple from 1972 to 78. In 1980, he moved to Colombia and he preached in Spanish. In 1984, he moved to Vrindavan, the land of Krishna. 1986, he was appointed the president of ISKCON Vrindavan for 3 years. Later on, in 1988, Baba Madhav Das approached him to take over the restoration project of Vrindakund. He is very famous to take devotees for yatra in Vrindavan, different places, different pastime of narrate the pastime of Radha and Krishna. So Dinabandhu Prabhu is known also with the devotees that Dinabandhu Baba. He is one of our leading devotees who started the Kumbh Mela in big way in ISKCON India, different like Ujjain, Nashik, Haridwar, and Allahabad. So he is our leader of the Kumbh Mela. So I am extremely thankful to him for accepting our invitation and choosing to be come live for ISKCON, Juhu Smaran. So we are honored to welcome him in this first part of this Smaran festival hosted by ISKCON Juhu. Hare Krishna.
Krishna. So hope you're all having a wonderful Ekadasi today. This is a very special Ekadasi. This is the beginning of Jhulan Yatra. And so we'll have wonderful katha today, all about different Jhulan Yatras around Braj. So before we begin, we'll chant a very beautiful song that Srila Prabhupada always used to chant, whenever he gave his lecture. Very beautiful bhajan that gives a whole picture of Vrindavan. And you all know this bhajan, you can sing along with us. Jaya Anjana Jamuna Tira Jaya Janmajandani Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya. So especially around Barsana and the villages around Barsana and Nandagaon, we find many beautiful old ancient Hindus or Julans. But the original one is in just near Barsana. If you've ever been on Barsana Prikrama, we come to a place called Dangar. From Dangar we look across a valley to a beautiful hill known as Bilasgar. Bilasgar is actually an incarnation of Krishna. Because Krishna, he can't stand to be far away from Radharani, so he's incarnated as this hill called Bilaskar. So between Barsana and Bilaskar, there's a little